Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's the leader of the Cosmic Armada, Wolf Nara, back to bring you another Boruto Two Blue Vortex review. And today we got Chapter 6 of Boruto Two Blue Vortex. So make sure you guys do the YouTube thingy and like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend, hey man, we got more Boruto content on the channel. So let's get started with the review. Now, with Chapter 6, it starts off with Shikamaru on the cover. You know what I'm saying? Cracking his neck, doing the thing, just showing that this is going to be a Shikamaru based chapter. So make sure you pay attention to Shikamaru throughout the chapter. And so it starts off with the elders just basically asking Shikamaru why did Boruto show up, even though he knows he's a rogue ninja. The entire Land of Fire wants to unalive Boruto for unaliving Naruto himself. And so Shikamaru basically says that he doesn't know why Boruto showed up to the village. However, he knows Boruto was pivotal to driving Cold off and protecting the village in of itself. And so we know back in chapter 1 that Shikamaru has tried to make a case multiple times for Boruto. And also he asked the three elders to give him 3 years before he becomes the official 8th Hokage. So now when we take a look into how the diplomacy is going in regards to how Shikamaru is dealing with the ninja and how he's dealing with the elders who have to deal with the feudal lords. We know the feudal lord doesn't like that the death of a hero like Naruto himself would not be solved by now. And so that is why they are saying that this is a stain on the honor of the Land of Fire as well. So Boruto showing up is kind of a pouring salt in that wound in of itself. So now Shikamaru is trying to make a case for Boruto, although he told Sarada that he tried to do it and he gave up on that. He still is trying to beat at that dead horse, just going to show that although Shikamaru, his memories is showing something completely different, based on the evidence that he's gathered from the conversation he listened on with Amato, he's starting to doubt those very memories in of itself, and it goes to show that he's still trying to make that case for Boruto even now. And so, and the same scene continues, basically saying that the elders gave Shikamaru the time that he requested, which is the 3 years, and so he has to take on the official 8th Hokage spot. That's why his stone face is embedded into the mountain, because he never officially took the spot in of itself, because he didn't want to accept it. Even though everyone else calls him that title as honorific, he doesn't want to accept it, because him accepting that title is him acknowledging that Naruto is gone in of itself. He doesn't want to actually accept that notion either. So now we get a scene with him smoking in the Hokage mansion in of itself, or the Hokage, yeah, pretty much the Hokage's office. You can say it's the mansion, but we get a scene of him smoking in the office, and he had requested documents from Ino. Ino drops off the documents and leaves abruptly. And so with those documents, you can say those documents are presumptually ninja mission records, in which Ino basically connects to him and asks Shikamaru why is he looking at these older documents for. Is she's kind of suspicious of the situation. So Shikamaru tells her that he doesn't want the sensory unit to listen on. He doesn't want Ada to be able to catch on. He doesn't want Damon to be able to catch on. He doesn't want Kawaki to be able to catch on. He needs to open up a private line, in which Ino kind of argues and says that it kind of is against the rules and regulations of the ninja village to have personal lines connected, in which Shikamaru kind of analyzes the situation where you have a multitude of different citizens being turned into these trees, and as a result of people being turned into these trees, you have these shinjus coming about. So at any moment in the village, the shinjus themselves could automatically pop up. And so he's just basically telling Ino that this is actually pivotal to the safety of the village. And so you're the only person he can basically ask, in which she asked him what can he necessarily do in this situation, in which the scene changed over to Kawaki and Ida, and Damon, and they're eating breakfast. And so Ida is explaining the situation to Kawaki that the Shinju are evolving differently, and they apparently are after the 7th Hokage. And so we know from the reader perspective that Naruto is only sealed, he's not unalive like the narrative is spilling. And so she also tries to tell Kawaki that they are also off after her as well. And so Kawaki completely negates them being after her, in which you see Damon kind of snark as he's eating his bread. He asks why does they want the 7th Hokage Shintaneri to be that he's unalive. So some way somehow these Shinju are able to tell that Naruto himself is still alive. Kawaki basically says he's gonna get rid of all of the Shinju, and we said we all know that's cap boy. You're slaw, you feel me? You're not him, bro. Get your biscuit head ass on, bro. You're not gonna do nothing to these Shinju. In which we got the Damien looking at Kawaki and interrupting him because it seems Kawaki is still focused on the 7th Hokage after his sister said that they are also after her, and he completely negating that, completely ignoring that. And Damien says he's only obligated to protect Ida. He's not obligated to protect him. So if there's a problem that comes Kawaki's way, he's gonna have to solve it himself. So don't look at him for solving, especially after a situation like this where Ida says that she's in danger and she has these feelings for Kawaki, which is why Damien is playing nice with the village citizen that leaves right now. And so Damien goes to tell Kawaki that his lie itself will pretty much come unravel if these Shinju come looking for the Lord of the 7th, and then the domino effect will happen, in which then he would become public enemy number 1. So now Ida then asks Kawaki where is he going, because he gets up and tries to leave, and Kawaki, just as stubborn as always, telling her that if she wants to know, then she has to pretty much spy on him like she always does. And so Ida basically kind of has sweat dropping down her brow, just basically showing that she doesn't want to activate her power just to know exactly what Kawaki is doing. It's not something she absolutely wants to do with someone she wants to grow closer with. And so you see that Ida is living this neglectful life, and we are coming out with an Ida video, so I'm not going to get too far into that point. Now when Kawaki leaves out, you can see Mitsuki in the cut looking. Hey boy, hey, if your dusty ass got a problem with me, you know what I'm saying, watching, bro, take that up with the bro. You talk to him. He said, bro, don't pull off your responsibility to someone else you hang there, basically calling him a nuisance, just basically saying that he can't make a decision of his own, so he clings to others to make that decision himself. In which, if you watch the anime, then you know that Mitsuki actually has a full arc about him coming to making his own decision. That's why Mitsuki left the village the first time, and how Boruto himself came into contact with Ryuji Cave, which is the cave where the snake sages are, and Boruto got offered to become a snake sage, in which he turned it down just to continue to pursue Mitsuki. But that whole entire arc is just basically Mitsuki learning how to make his own decisions. Even when Mitsuki was made initially, Orochimaru himself held countless experiments for Mitsuki to choose a third option, which is the option of his own choice. Is he side with Orochimaru or side with the person who's trying to free Mitsuki, quote unquote, without knowing no one's motive, in which Mitsuki activated Sage Mode without hurting himself, and then retreats from Orochimaru and goes to the village and leaves, which is what Orochimaru not only wanted, but he just wanted Mitsuki to know that he's his own person. He's able to make his own decisions. And so that is a constant thing with Mitsuki character. And so the fact that Kawaki can't understand that, he can never truly become Mitsuki's son. And so if you want me to dive more into the importance of Mitsuki's son, I've already have a video talking about that. It's in the Boruto discussion / explain playlist. So if you guys want to see that, hey, go peep the video. So now the scene transfers over to Sarada Sumire in Boruto. And so Boruto just basically says that, well, Sarada looks over at Boruto and is unable to talk to him out of her nervousness from just jumping over on him and acting emotionally instead of rationally. And so Sumire is the one to break the ice. And so when Sumire tells Boruto he's looking well, how's everything been over these past 3 years, Boruto never breaks his solemn face. It's almost as if he has this solemn look on his face, but also a skeptical look on his face. And because Sumire was never there when Boruto had the situation where he had to completely abandon the village. And so then after that, Boruto talks to Sarada and says he wasn't expecting her to jump on him like that, in which Sarada begins to blush and open up to Boruto and say, well, she hasn't seen him after a very long time. So it was expected for her to do, so pretty much making up an excuse, basically. When he directly talks to Sarada, he pretty much begins to smile a little bit, in which we get that hint of the old Boruto still being in that shell. You see, he's just pretty much a shell of his former self right now, but we still get that small hint of that childlike character that we grown to know and love when he begins to talk to Sarada. So Boruto then says that he's glad that they're both not only are okay, but he's able to erase his chakra signature for the sensory team to not be able to track him, in which Kawaki could eventually track him because their karmas are still linked, even though Kawaki has a pseudo karma now technically. But their karmas are technically linked, so he'll eventually be able to sense that he's there. But as of right now, they're safe. And so Boruto then goes to tell Sarada that her father was absorbed by the 10 tails in of itself. And so when Sarada, we never really get to see Sarada's reaction to her father being absorbed by the 10 tails, because it's a back panel or a back shot in regards to the panel layout, which is kind of crazy for me to say. But then we go back to Mitsuki and Kawaki then notices Boruto is pretty much in the south part of the outskirts of the village. So Mitsuki then activates, uses a snake, and we know later on in the chapter that snake is used to knock out Kawaki. So now we go to the dialogue between Boruto, Sarada, and Sumire, which is basically saying that the Shinju are different, in which the 10 tails are supposed to become this divine fruit, which it's actually not going that course of action. It's going towards the course of action of Cold Chakra being the medium, because Cold does have a karma, so that he still has a lump of Otsutsuki DNA, which is allowing these Shinju to mutate. So if you guys want me to go deeper into that topic, I've already did that as well. It's the Shinju Explained video. Make sure you guys peep that video, because I go kind of into the genetics of the Shinju makeup itself. So now, with them pretty much being a byproduct of coming into contact with Otsutsuki DNA, Cold Chakra, they are unable to evolve completely into that Shinju fruit and are now gaining their own egos or their own personalities, their own individuality. However, they're still connected through one another to kind of like a hive mind of the 10 tails. So now Shikamaru then connects to Boruto, in which he tells Boruto not to react to anything. Shikamaru then connects to Boruto, in which he then tells him not to react to anything. He says, "Get up out of there. You know, it's somebody on your ass, bro. You gotta go, bro. Run," before we're actually able to talk. He told Boruto not to react. And so we then see Mitsuki pretty much striking Shadow Snake, trying to hold Boruto, in which Boruto kind of flings the katana. I don't know if he like flings the katana outward, or if he does the same thing where Orochimaru is able to control the Kusanagi blade through his chakra. That's how he was able to continue to push the Kusanagi blade through the third Hokage when he was doing the Reaper Death Cell on him. He was using his chakra to divert the blade. So Boruto, I'm going to say he used his chakra to divert the blade outward and expel it from his sheath, and then flying Raijin to the blade, which means he done flying Raijin about 4 times. In which Mitsuki then tries to hit him with another move. Mitsuki tries to hit him with a chakra snakes, in which Boruto activates purple lightning. And so we know from the callback to part 1 of Naruto, with Kakashi saying that the most skilled ninja are able to weave hand sign with only one hand. We see the first person being Haku. We see the second person also being Sasuke himself, also weaving casting jutsu with one hand sign. So now we have Boruto. Boruto then activates purple lightning, and he does only the lightning seal, and it's actually a callback to when Boruto fights Shinki himself. Boruto activates purple lightning. He does the little lightning, the Ratan release sign. It's only one hand sign, which is now you can see that as foreshadowing to Boruto using purple lightning in this scene, because he used the exact one hand sign seal and still was able to produce a difference between his chakra from a regular Chidori to purple lightning itself. And he's able to put that purple lightning onto his sword, just showing that he's able to conduct that chakra and then convert that chakra into not only regular lightning but the purple lightning, which uses sage assist path type chakra or sasuke type of chakra, which just goes to show fire progression for Boruto and himself in regards to his strength. So now Mitsuki tried to strike Boruto from below, and this is a callback to the pre-time skip where Mitsuki tried to attack Boruto and Momoshiki had to tell Boruto to dodge. This time Boruto activates his Otsutsuki powers on his own, which he was able to dodge completely by himself. And then he floats in the air, sheaths the katana, and tells Sarada that he's going to save his master and everyone else who's turned into a ten-tail. And then he says he's going to save, and he looks at her, almost signifying that Boruto has maybe something going on with the future. We know we have the time turtle. Maybe the time turtle came back from vacation. Maybe Boruto headed out in some alternate dimension after meeting Kashin Koji, and then that alternate dimension time rate was different than what it is in Naruto's dimension, and maybe he was in the future where he came back initially, in which everything was destroyed, and then he goes back in time to the point where we are now, which would be fire. Is almost as if he's erasing the timeline in of itself. So now Boruto begins to fly away, and Mitsuki say, "Damn, you owe Sasuke." However, a snake begins to talk to Mitsuki. Whenever you see Mitsuki fight, if a snake begins to talk to Mitsuki, that means he's pretty much tracking him, and the snake is telling him that he's where to go, so that way he can track the target. And so now, when Boruto's flying away, he's beginning to speak with Shikamaru, and Shikamaru is beginning to tell him that he's able to help him inadvertently through the means of being the 8th Hokage. However, he's not able to help him freely in the open, and Boruto just kind of gets mad, just saying that he's basically covering his own ass. It's not the same as if when Naruto was the Hokage and everything was placed upon Naruto's shoulders, and he took that burden. And so now Boruto is kind of seeing more of a conniving Kage rather than a straightforward Kage, that the one that he's more used to having as the Kage, the representation of his father being Kage. He doesn't have that same straightforward nature being represented anymore. So Boruto hasn't seen this model of an Hokage. He's only seen his father and the way his father done things as the Hokage. So he doesn't really want to work with this way the Hokage runs, because it almost seems as if it's a trap. Boruto is more skeptical about things now. And so Shikamaru states to Boruto, because Boruto says he doesn't want anything to do with this situation, he calls him Boruto Uzumaki. And Shikamaru just basically says that he doubts his very own memories even at this current point in time. And so him listening to a motto, if he switches him and Kawaki's position with each other, then everything makes sense. The artistic point on Kawaki and Boruto having to leave abruptly, but also having documents that states Boruto was here and was a ninja here before Kawaki even came to the village. And so all of the notions that they have from the omnipotent Shinjutsu will pretty much become undone. And so Boruto and Shikamaru basically tells Boruto to come back to the village, and Boruto says he's basically kind of far away, and how far does the communication stretch? And Shikamaru says about 100 kilometers. Just goes to show that, as one of my comments said in my reaction, that Ino is able to need her chakra. And I also said this in my other review that you guys will never see, that Ino is able to need her chakra 100 kilometers away. Just basically showing that she's just as skilled as her father was, although he needed the machine to be able to connect that far. Anything that far would start to cause stress on his brain, just going to show that the Ino Shikacho trio has surpassed their previous generation as well, which I love to see. So Boruto then noticed that the snake was applied to his waist, and he tells Shikamaru that he has to pretty much cut the conversation off, because he has to be a little rough for Mitsuki, just going to show that Mitsuki not only is about to get curb stomped, but Boruto has the ingenuity to be able to deal with someone of the Sage Mode caliber. So we know Boruto trained with Kashi and Koji, so I am going to drop my Kashi and Koji video soon before this next chapter drops. So look forward to that video. And with Purple Lightning, only Kakashi know Purple Lightning. We haven't seen Kakashi in the village yet, so I'm going to be making a Kakashi is a Rogue Ninja video as well, so keep out. Hey, stay looking for that one as well, man. That's all I gotta say. But if I could rate this chapter is an 8 out of 10 for sure. I can't wait for what Kishimoto is cooking up, riding rides, and what I think it's Kodachi Ikimoto. Hey, one of those two. Wait. I think it's Ikimoto is drawing, because Ikimoto drawing this time skip for Two Blue Vortex is spot on. It's almost as if Kishimoto was giving him pointers in between on how he wants the choreography to go in regards to Naruto, and I just love to see it. You have to pay attention to the small details in the artwork to know what's going on in the future. But anyway, it's your boy Wolf Nara. If you guys want more reviews in this format, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down below what kind of Boruto videos you guys want. You feel me? Because if you let me know what topics you want me to cover, I could cover them. But anyway, it's been your boy Wolf Nara. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.